Welcome everybody to our May Fierce Leader team call. Like I just said before we started recording, I just think it's important to have this time to come out and hang on the Zoom room once a month. So we're going to do that tonight. Melissa's going to kick us off with some recognition. So let's get started with that. Go ahead, Mom.
Was that something really important that just came through from Doterra?
Well, there's a really cool Doterra training that I wanted to attend tonight. Did you guys see that? And it's right at 8. So I'm going to have to watch the recording, but it looks so good. So I'll try and take my Amy notes and look into that. So that's what that was. Sorry. Doterra should know my training schedule.
I know, they should be working around the fierce leaders, guys. So I wanted to tell you all that we have a new fierce leader, guys. Laura Christine had her little baby within the last week, and she is going to start rolling out the story of who baby is and the birth story. But we do know that baby is named Arrow, Arrow, and we are delighted to hear that Laura's baby is here. So congratulations if Laura gets to see this in like 3 months.
I know, right?
Congratulations to Laura and Enoch on the birth of their sweet baby. So I'm just kind of in awe that April has already come and gone. It was like hormonal with the weather and with sales. I think we could all probably agree with that. Up and down, sun and rain, heat and cold. And for some of us, like I said, when I got on it, it snowed. But I want to congratulate you all for like working through the challenges and staying on track with business building activities, because that's where the magic really happens. So now we have 1,914 fierce leaders, and we have 11 new members from last month. And so again, I'm going to say every month we're going to hit 2,000 members this year. It's just a question of when. Okay, so to that end, I want to do a shout out to everybody on our team who was able to enroll people this last month and get those people started on their wellness journey, because yes, we enjoy income, we enjoy building a business, but we also really love getting people off to a great start. So to people who had one enrollment, I'd like to say congratulations. And that would be Emily Rashid, Sonia Koval, Jerry Huffman, Susan Wood, and yours truly. And then with 2 enrollments, Miss Amy Walnuts. And here's the drum roll. Here's the drum roll. Are you ready, guys? Hold on to your seats. Pam Jensen had 4 enrollments, 4 in April. And guys, I just have to give you a sneak peek. 1 on the books already for May. So she is just ripping it up. I want to say that she qualified for the Divana Touch. I have mine here. Do you guys all, have you, when this became available, did you get that? I don't use it often enough. So I'm going to start using it. Pam, congratulations. Pam did an amazing class and great follow-up. She did personalized follow-up for all of her people that attended, recommended a kit, recommended oils, and it's just a really great accomplishment. So congratulations, Pam. I did want to go into a little bit of detail on how doTERRA has extended the Rare Florals promotion. So for those of you that aren't remembering quite what that was, it was if you enrolled 3 people with a qualifying order in April, and you were then going to receive one of these Divana Touch. If you enrolled 5 with a qualifying order, you got the Divana Touch and the 2.5 milliliter of the Jasmine, which is rare and pure and amazing, and everybody wishes they could have that. You would get both of those with 5 enrollments. So Pam got the Divana, and doTERRA, in celebration of Pam, I think, announced that they are extending the rare oil promotion. And so what they are doing is saying, if you have started your journey, for example, like Amy could get 3, 4, and 5 in May and continue on that continuum, okay? And Emily and Jerry and Sonia and Susan, you can get 2 more and actually 4 more and wrap that up. So the point I want to stress is it needs to be 100 PV order. Okay, so make sure your orders are 100 PV. If it isn't, I will try to watch for them. and I will try to let you know, but you really literally have like 24 to 48 hours to fix that. And we could brainstorm ways to get that done so that you get to count that enrollment that I know you worked hard for. So there you have it. I think that's everything I wanted to tell you. And I did want to tell you that the Divana is sourced from India, and it becomes like your own personal scent. It's very rare and very unusual. Roll it on your neck and on the inside of your wrists, and people will be like, "Ooh, what is she wearing?"
Thanks, Melissa. Do you have an update on convention at all or nothing from your phone?
I keep sitting on the account managers and pulling their hair all the time and asking. The most I can get is they say it's going to be smaller than usual. They think it's smaller than usual. They think maybe 15,000 people as opposed to 34, and maybe only in one venue. They had a big meeting today, and they're like tight-lipped. So I just feel like we need to keep waiting and seeing. But I would say make sure you have that time off, because you can watch it. You're probably going to be able to watch it from home or from another venue. Okay, so just make sure you stake out those dates. September 8th, 9th, and 10th, right? Friday, Thursday through Saturday. It escapes me right now. Sonia probably knows off the top of her head.
8th, 9th, and 10th. Yes. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Sonia, speaking of you, do you want to give a quick Pomodoro update?
Sure. So for those of you that haven't jumped on Thursday nights, just 7:30 to 8 o'clock, it goes really fast. Feel free to jump on. It's actually a really good time just to get something done. We're not like, oh, you're doing the wrong thing or that doesn't qualify. It doesn't matter. Like if you just have some sort of doTERRA work to get done, just jump on. It's usually in my Zoom room if I can make it. We just go around, we ask like what you're working on, just kind of to hold you accountable. You do those things. I use it to get like emails and text out regarding Saturday CE classes and maybe the Monday night product education call if it is that week. But otherwise, it's just a good way for me to get those emails out because otherwise sometimes it just doesn't happen. It's also a good time to like follow up with customers. Melissa's been making some serious headway with just shooting text to people and getting together and all the things like restaurant owners and yeah, so she's got some good energy going there. And after the like right at 8 o'clock, we just go around, we ask what you accomplished, and then we're done. So feel free to jump on. We're not threatening. It's good.
Thanks, Son. And Sonia does a really good job of making those. Have you guys seen, I hope you've seen in the text group, her cute graphics, cute, well done. Cute might not be the right word. Nice graphics that you can use for inviting. So keep an eye out for those too. You're so cute, Sonia. Okay. All right. So I'm going to share my screen because I have a PowerPoint for some of the things that I wanted to walk through. I know if you caught it in the event description, I talked through like we're making some changes to some of the Fierce Oiler formats we're doing. I want to talk about class idea I have, and then customer appreciation, some things going on there. So here is this for you. And let's do this. Okay, so basically the bottom line is we're moving away from our weekly essential oils made easy. Okay, so that weekly Fierce Oiler, it was alternating between 1 p.m. on a Thursday and 8 p.m. on a Thursday. Okay, and so let me like explain a little bit about why that is before I talk about like what are some things that you'll have access to moving forward. So really we did them for almost a year, and I thought there's great fruit from them. I know many of you would agree. And one of the visions behind it was that it would be something that like if you were newer to sharing oils or like sharing oils with people and didn't have something to invite them to, like this was a staple of like you could always invite to this Essential Oils Made Easy class once a week. And I think that our education is still continuing to be focused on the basics and all that, but it's shifting a little bit. And I want to talk about like what this next part will look like. And if we ever need to go back to weekly essential oils made easy, we'll do it in a heartbeat if the need is there. But let's talk about like, what are some of the options moving forward at this point? So you can totally ask your leader to help you teach an essential oil made easy or an oily pop-up. I wrote customized classes because I just want to be really clear. Everything we're teaching is the same thing with a different name. Okay. And like sometimes a slightly different looking PowerPoint. So it has all the basics in it. Like, so for example, my mom and I did some, and Em and I did some of the babies, brews, and basics classes last month. Super great, right? Like a focus, but it was all the basics with just some recipes in there for that season of life. And basically we're going to be doing it geared towards like moms of littles, maybe not always necessarily pregnant. And so like you can swap out the recipes and keep it, and it's ready to go. So anyway, it's not reinventing the wheel. Teach one of your own. If you're ready to teach your own, teach your own. Learn how to have an effective one-on-one oily conversation. We did a training on this. You can watch the recording. You can ask us to help you with this. And then something I'm going to be working towards, I'm calling them mini text classes. So hang with me here. This is like, this idea is being born just in my mind in the past 2 weeks. So basically you would pick a focus area, just some ideas, sleep, pain, digestive support, headaches, tantrums, respiratory support, focus, mood. You might just have an oil you really love that's been so significant for you. And you're like, I just could talk about this till the cows come home, and I want to like give people this oil in their hands. And again, part of this focus is going to help you in the inviting. So you pick your focus area, and then I would encourage you to invite potential customers. So, hey, I'm trying something new. I thought you might like it, so I wanted to get you the info. I'm sending samples in the mail to 10 people who want to try an oil for better sleep. Once you get your oil, we'll start a mini class via texting where I'll drop you short tips and info for 48 hours while you learn to incorporate the oil and see what results you get. Are you game to try? Okay, so super straightforward. You can see again how I think our response was so positive when we could be specific about what we were inviting to, like especially like topically. Just an idea for you, you could involve a current customer by getting them to help you find potential customers, right? Hey, I'm trying something new. Same thing there. I've started mini text classes for people who are new to oils to help them experience oils in a super simple but powerful way. I mail them the sample, and once they get it, the text class begins to help them use and experience it. This month, my mini text classes are focusing on sleep. I was wondering if you knew anyone who would like to try an oil for better sleep. If you connect me to 5 people, I've got a bottle of Serenity soft gels with your name on it. So these can be totally edited, but I just want to encourage you to remember that like you have people who love the products and love you, and you can connect with them. So what is a mini text class, Amy, now that we've invited people to it? Well, basically you're going to mail a sample of one oil in those new little sample pouches. Remember, Laura Whipperman helped us all get our hands on those that use just one stamp, and they're super affordable to send. And you're going to ask them to text you when they get it, but they will never do that. Maybe a few will do that. So you need to follow up. And then you're going to get them started in the text format. I'm working on outlines and templates for that. Honestly, I think you could figure out how to text someone through using like Serenity or lavender and what it's good for, and then moving them towards the next step. I really do think you could figure out, but I am going to be doing it for myself, and I'm willing to put it in a Google Doc so you're able to use it. But that's like the overall vision. Okay. Why am I doing this? Why am I putting the time into doing this? I just feel like texting is so where it's at. It's an easy on-ramp for people. It's not as threatening. I have a lot of customers that are super willing to send potential people my way when it's that kind of a format. And though, like I said, I can't say enough about the focus areas. It was so evident to me after teaching that babies class that when you're inviting somebody with like the intentionality and hitting on a pain point, a specific season of life, like they're like committed to showing up. They're very interested. And I think this mini format is not overwhelming. It's like, boom. Okay. So here's just an idea. Try one focus area or text class a month. You could do more if you wanted, but I think this is really doable. Like week 1, you're inviting your people. This is from Kara Manders. Shout out to her. Week 1, you're going to reach out and invite. Week 2, get your samples in the mail. Week 3, work on the mini text classes that you're doing. And week 4 is your follow-up. Okay. And so if you were like, all right, June, what's the next month? June is going to be about sleep, or I really want to help people with adaptive in June, or I want to get Terra Shield in 20 people's hands in the month of June, like, I don't know, or peppermint for sunburns, just to be thinking about that and mapping that out as you look ahead. I'm going to take a minute here to see if people have questions, because I know, well, maybe that's not a lot, but I'm going to just check and see if people have questions about that.
I was actually thinking, Amy, that it would be kind of cool if we wanted, or whoever wanted to do it, tied it into the monthly product call, like something that was going to be on that, if you had the timing right.
Yeah, I totally think you could tie it into an area. This is where, like, I end up in my very typical spot of like, I don't want you guys to feel pigeonholed, but you're right. Like, we could all pick the same thing. We could pick something that coincides with what we're already teaching on, like the sky's the limit on what we do, I think.
I was just going to say also that it reminds me of when we did the Symphony of the Cells Blitz in 2019, right? Or was it 2020? No, 2019.
Pregnant, yeah.
Yeah. And we had it going in different states, in different areas. And the synergy that we all felt that we're doing it together was really remarkable.
Mm-hmm. I do think there's something to be said for that.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So I really like this idea. I'm thinking though, like, let's say you choose sleep and someone's like, yes, I love Serenity. I need this. How do I get this? I feel like that's where I would falter, because my first thought would be like, hey, if you are interested in a few oils, you get the Serenity free. But then they're like, well, no, I just wanted the Serenity. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to overwhelm, but I also don't want to be like, cool, here's your retail Serenity, nailed it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, in my mind, it is, well, there's the typical Elise Shedevy line of like, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Like, we should hop on Zoom and we'll talk through different things you're trying to work on and see if there's like a customized way to go about this for you, is one thought. Another thought is, honestly, if I'm sending Serenity, I'm just gonna be like, here's your simple solutions kit. I'll probably send them 2 options: Serenity at retail in a link generator, and be like, or you can grab this simple solutions and get access to all this at this price point, because it's going to be like, that's like kind of an obvious. So, some of those are a little bit workable with the way the kits have evolved, I think. But I think ultimately, I'd love to have it lead to somebody just getting on Zoom one-on-one with me and talking it through. What are you working on? What do you think would be helpful? But if it's just going to stay texting like that, I'm going to link generate like a couple kit options and let them make the obvious best decision.
Yeah, that's helpful. Yeah, that was kind of my question, like, what's the end goal, or what would be a win? This is a side note that I thought was interesting. I think I read somewhere, or somebody told me something about an article recently, that things like, because of 2020 and like Zoom overload, for a lot of people, things are switching back to phone calls. Like, a lot of people, because if they're like on Zoom all day for work, don't want to do another Zoom call. So it might actually be like switching back more to be like, can we hop on the phone for 10 minutes? And people might be more willing to do that. So that's something I just read recently that I'm like, oh, I'm going to keep that in mind.
Yeah, that's interesting. Makes sense though. That was a good question. Other questions? So basically, I'm going to keep fleshing this out, because this is like ultimately something I'm going to be doing for my business. If you guys like want to, figure that out, cool, all the more power to. But I feel like, I'm not like trying to toot my own horn, but I think there's a lot of potential here. I think there's a lot of potential in going at about this way. And one of the things about a weekly essential oils made easy is finding the time to sample, invite, and then be, next week, right? And it is like there before you even know it's there. And so I think making a more calculated plan of like, I'm going to do these well, and here's my theme for the month, might be really interesting.
Amy, Sonia had a question. Could you incorporate in a couple of samples that are in the sleep wellness kits or something with that, using those kits?
Oh, to try and lead them towards that for like an enrollment. I know, I keep hoping they're gonna, I know. I guess if it was more for like a current customer, yeah, I think, but I do think you could totally customize what you're sending out. I just was like one little thing. Yeah, but I think you could. I mean, you could do adaptive capsules. You could do Serenity soft gels, Is there another question in the chat? I missed it. Oh, it was you. Okay, let's talk really quickly about the Doterra Spring Tour. So this is like very much a grass movement. This is like an underground network. It's not secretive, but it's like a little hard to get info on. So, which I understand why. So if you're in Wisconsin, we've been able to partner with Brianna Hess and what her team is doing in the Appleton area. So that's happening on May 20th in the evening. I'm sorry, I don't have that time for you yet. We're manning a table, which I think is going to be really fun. And then I've agreed to speak as well. And so if you are interested in being there at that or being behind the table or whatever, if you're comfortable with that, just like let me know. I think it could be really fun. And I'm excited for it. I've got a couple like other minor details on like ones in Minnesota, like it's hard. So if you want to know about an area, like you're like, I need some digging for an event near me, just let us know. But that's kind of what the spring tour is up to.
Can we just share? I'm going to share, if you weren't familiar with what we mean when we're talking about a spring tour, is after the leadership event that happened in March, in the past, there were events, hi Whitty, there were events all over the country that corporate went to, and people came, like 200 and 300 people would attend these events, and it would be like a mini leadership, and anybody could go to that. And after COVID, this is their solution. They're asking people who are diamonds and above if they'd like to host one. So Brianna Hess is a diamond and above from the Stevens Point area, actually closer to Appleton. And so we are going to partner with Brianna on putting that together. And yeah, I think it'll be really interesting to hear Amy speak. And Amy, can you speak to the fact that you think that this is geared, there's some fun things for people who are new that come to this event?
Yeah, it's definitely geared towards new people. And there's like a gift, a roller, a special roller that they'll get, and some other things, some other perks. So Whitney has something to tell Mimi really quick, and this is the only way I'm going to get her to bed. So go for it, Whit.
I have unicorns on my dress, and my mama bought it for me at a garage sale.
I love it. It's beautiful.
Love you.
Thank you.
Sweet dreams. Big things. Okay, customer appreciation. I just did a wave of this, and I just think it's never a bad time to do this. And my response, I have like 78 things to get in the mail, and I was like, oh, I need to get on this. Gary's like, well, what? So my mom and I really tried to come up with something affordable. In the past, we've sent rollers and things like that, and I'm like, $4 a roller, that is just not happening. That's not where it's at. So I'll show you in a minute, but I just think it's important to find small and consistent ways to let our customers know that we appreciate them. It does not have to be a big, like flashy ordeal. So I made this Google Doc to show kind of the method to my madness. So basically I gave them the option of, I don't know if you can see them, but two little booklets. So one is roller bottle recipe and one is diffuser blends. When my mom does it, she's just going to give them one option, which is fine. You get a pack of 10, they're $1 a piece from Aroma Tools is what I should say. They're $1 a piece. And so once they said yes, I said, can you remind me your address? And then I said, also, there's a new promo they announced today. You'd have to edit that. If you want the details on it, just respond promo and I'll get that over to you. And so then I was able to tell people about the When in Rome bundle, the Mother's Day bundle. And I had a really good response to that. Some people reactivated with it. And so it was a really good way to like tie those things together, which I still think is super doable. And even if you're like, oh, I put like the envelopes on there and stuff like that. If you want to see that, you could just pick 2 diffuser blend recipes and be like, it's customer love time. I'm sending out 2 of my favorite diffuser blend recipes. Which one do you want me to send to you? And then you're literally going to text them either it written out or a graphic that you made of it and be like, here's your recipe. I appreciate you so much. And then be like, by the way, do you want to know about the promo too? So it does not have to be anything super fancy. And I do think that if you can time it right to get the 3x5 class cards of all of our fierce oiler things happening for the month is really nice to put in there too. And it was Laura Whipperman. I don't know if you guys caught this, but she puts a little thing like, I know you'd really love like blank class, or the ones I highlighted, and she highlights the ones on the card that she thinks they'd really like, which helps them be good about looking at it.
Amy, can you just speak to how you got this is customer appreciation, but it sounds like you sent them to people who aren't ordering regularly because you mentioned that they reactivated. Could you explain that?
Yep. So you can do it anyway. I send it to every customer, like does not matter. Doesn't matter if they've ever ordered, never ordered, like does not, no holds barred. And so that's not necessarily how my mom does it, which is okay. Everyone does it differently, but I send it to everyone.
Yeah, I think my mind would be blown. Like there's a lot of names, you know. But yeah, I have to manage it because it gets overwhelming to me. So I put limits on it.
Yeah. The 3x5 cards, Pam, reach out to Melissa. And I think I don't have it living in a place month to month. We would just have to email you like the PDF or the printable thing. It's a good question. Other questions on that? You're welcome. So honestly, I feel like this was like not a very exciting call. Sorry. Hey everybody, big news. Witt's got a new top from a garage sale. Okay. But seriously, I do think I'm just kind of practical sometimes. And like, this is what I'm doing right now. This is what I'm working on. Like, here's some things. And then it's like, it is really up to you. Like nobody can run your business for you. Like you've got to go do it. You've got to go talk to the people and roll oils on yourself and roll oils on people and be like, do you need a symphony of cells? I'm on my way. We can do it on your porch in the open screened in porch, you know, like honestly, like seriously be like, I figured out a way to give you a symphony of cells outside. Do you want one? It will be modest. Like, come on. No, what about this? Like, seriously, I'm like, what if you went to somebody's house and taught the wife how to do it for the husband outside? Nobody cares about a husband outside with his shirt off. Well, the kids are in bed, right? Like, honestly, people, like, mix it up a little bit and have a little fun. It's like we've made it all the way to May. It's time to put on our thinking caps and to go be creative and to care for people in new ways. I know I'm serious, but I would totally do that for somebody. I would totally teach a wife how to do that for her husband and then drive away and be like, okay, you guys have fun now. What's wrong with that? So seriously.
Yeah. I've given Symphony of the Cells outside to people that have COVID.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just met them outside on their stoop and done it.
Mm-hmm.
Sonia's got some 2 really neat classes coming up. Maybe if people have something coming up that they're excited about, Sonia, can you share I really want to know what a magnesium mocktail is. I have asked everybody. I was like, Miranda, what is a magnesium mocktail? And she said, I don't know, but it's going to make you poop.
Okay, cool. We'll wrap it up with hearing all the cool things. I'm very excited for this.
So Sonia, do share.
Oh my gosh. No, I was going to hold 2 Symphony of the Cells classes in my house this month. I don't know. I was going to move my massage bed up to the living room, max it out at like 5 or 6 people, and take 2 volunteers for the night. And the first night is going to be the ID and inflammation. So infectious disease and inflammation protocols. So show them how to do those 2. And then that one's next week. And then 2 weeks after that is digestive and respiratory.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
And then I said I was going to serve magnesium mocktails. So got this idea from the amazing Hillary LeMay on Instagram, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I love like the natural calm. I like the unflavored, but they do make a couple different flavors of it. I've got little individual packets that I ordered, or you can buy a big canister of it. The unflavored really doesn't taste like anything. And I just put it in like hot water at night and drink it before bed because it does help me sleep. But you can make it fancy and use like a Perrier with like a half teaspoon.
Where did that come from?
In my pickle jar. Sorry.
What?
I know her too well.
No, and a half teaspoon of the natural calm or whatever. It's just a magnesium drink. And then it fizzes and you could put like lime or lemon into it. And it's delicious. Yeah.
It's awesome.
I'm very sold on that. Symphony of the Cells classes. I mean, yeah, Laura Shields is always talking about what she's doing with those. I just think they're always so good. That's such like the best thing ever. Those are awesome, son.
Well, I want to get people using it, learning how to do it. So that way we could get like a few of us together and, once a month or once a week, we all just do them on each other. Right. So just get people learning how to do them.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Anybody
So
else?
Susan wants me to share.
Yeah, go for it, Tanya.
Was it last weekend? I don't remember. Her and I went on a women's retreat, and she brought stuff for us to do the amoebic Symphony of the Cells. So we had like all these women laying on the ground with these oils, and like it was so funny. It was a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Various
we did-
stages of undressed, but still modest.
That's what a women's retreat is for.
Yeah.
Anybody else have something coming up this month that they want to share about?
When I was doing these Pomodoros that Sonia's doing are really good for me because I tend to get distracted and go in a million different directions. So I was showing up with my list of people I've enrolled. And like Sonia said, I was just going one by one through the list and trying to think of something about that person that I needed to touch bases with or something I remembered. And I came across one of the ladies that I know is a former doula, and she is now an OB labor and delivery nurse. And so I reached out to her and said, hey, you've talked about wanting to do something. She attended one of our babies classes that we did online, and she really liked it. And I said, what if we do something together? So we're doing 2 classes at the end of the month. And I'm excited. Redid the graphic in a way that looks like older, and it actually has a glass of wine on it because she sells wine. So just kind of made it in what works for her, I guess. And she's super excited about and going to be inviting people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think it's going to be somewhat similar to Em and I are working on that. Oh, hi.
I'll say something really quick about texting. I have the project broadcast service that I can send out texts to a lot of people at once, which is seriously like the best time saver ever. And I message all my customers about the Rome promo, and the response I got is like, I'm really interested in the texting classes that Amy's talking about, because I'm still surprised, you guys, after all these years of selling oils, when I send a message and somebody responds like, perfect, I just bought 3. Then I'm like, oh my gosh, really? But I had like multiple people be like, hey, thanks for letting me know I just got 2, or just send one to my mother-in-law or whatever, like new people touching base. Because sometimes I can honestly feel a little bit like they already get an email from doTERRA about the promos. They probably already see it in Fierce Oilers. I posted it on my social media and I'm sending them a text like, is this overkill? But honestly, the response is always really positive. And so I do think like that texting and being able to do it all at once and then check it when I need to, it's like it saves my brain space, and I've had like really good response too.
Thanks, Em, for saving me. Anyway, so if anybody wants to be on this like mom's type class that Em and I are going to do towards the end of the month, same one both nights, but just swapping in some of those mom related recipes, you're welcome to do that. All right, well, I think I need to go put somebody in bed. No, I'll tell you what, I'll stay on the Zoom room for a little bit. Anyone else who wants to stay on is totally welcome to. If you're ready to sign off and go get working on your list of who you can invite to fun things, get it done. Then go ahead and you can sign off. We thank you for being on, and we'll stay on for a little bit for those who want to stay on and hang. Okay. This is like a fun little game to see who hops on and off. Dun, 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 dun. Mom, while people are making their decision, tell us about the cooking class.
Oh, I'm so excited. I reached out to a restaurant owner, and I know she uses oils in some of her dishes, but probably not as much as I'd like. And I just said, let's do a small cooking class. Let's have room for like 5 or 6 people. And I said, here's the menu. I mean, I'm just like literally going like this, making it up in my Pomodoro. And I said, we'll do a salad with the doTERRA vinaigrette, and we'll do some fun mocktails, cocktails, and we'll have a dessert with a doTERRA glaze. And she was like, that's it. That's perfect. I can't wait. Let's set it up. So she's recovering from COVID, so she needed a couple weeks. So that's fun.
I want to go eat it all.
And Barb Anderson and I are going to do like a volleyball thing and invite people to a volleyball fun event.
Come up with an idea and I'll be there.
Okay, don't challenge me. Yeah, Sonia, I'll be like, I'll come up with an idea.
We could do one for coaches.
Jerry, you've got some things coming.
Yes, Melissa, last time Susan and I met, Melissa inspired us because she shared what she did 2 years ago at Dummer Library.